Aloha nui loa. It's a pleasure to be here with all you powerful souls throughout the world. It's a great honor. It's a beautiful honor. How much joy, how much love, how much devotion that we get to share with one another when we come together in these lives. Very important for our soul journey and for our soul growth, right? So we're lifting and we're activating these energies and creating a field of frequencies that are calling in our brothers and sisters at this time. So anytime you can share these lives or take bits and pieces from them and share them with people, it will be beneficial to those who are seeking to be able to move into that full on fourth dimensional field before we move into the fifth, which is our ability to be fully present in the physical realm, but also be in the spiritual realm as well, operating in the alignment of spirit first before the physical. That way we are operating at a higher dimensional field of energy, and therefore our results will be also a higher dimensional field of experience, because we'll be activating energies and frequencies that are in the same alignment that is fluctuating through every being who's operating in that same field. And that in itself, that level of projection, that level of expansion is really huge and powerful when you think about it, right? And so we are moving into a greater field of awareness in our consciousness, and that allows us to access a greater field of alignment, of authenticity with one another. So it's been really great this week, spending a lot of time with each and every one of you, to come on here, to share with you, to do the live healings, to support one another, to be able to shift into a level of consciousness that is, really about seeing each other in this community, right? No hierarchies, right? That we're operating in this level of community so that we can honor each other's gifts and value each other's souls, so that we can grow together, right? And that's what I said, is that we're shifting a different dynamic on planet Earth, where it used to just be the one leader and then the followers, right? We're shifting the dynamic to we all operate in consciousness, awareness, and helping each other to lift that vibrational field together in every aspect of what we do, the way we show up for our kids, the way we show up for our respected relationships, the way that we show up for the people on the planet, the way we show up for nature, the way we show up for animals, the way we show up for all types of beings, even your ancestors, the spirits, and all of that. I'm not in Hawaii. I wish I was home in Hawaii. That would be amazing. It's so funny because I was just talking to my wife about how much I miss Hawaii. When you spend all your childhood in Hawaii, you kind of just constantly live with that aloha spirit. So, but yeah, so anyway, so when we are stepping into that type of relationship, right, we then begin to move different types of energy on the planet, right? Because we're not just moving it alone, we're moving it together. And we're supporting each other in that movement by how we show up in our everyday lives. And that's why we have to be able to look at the different things that show up for us, and also come to a place of true kindness and true love when it comes into that space. So as we start to mature more and more in our spiritual ability, thank you for saying so, that's very kind of you, we then begin to raise the vibrational field of what we will tolerate and what we won't tolerate, And so when people say rude things, or when people, use their energy to put other people down, or to be mean, or in some kind of way off-putting to another human being, that's because they've been off-putting to themselves. They've been putting themselves down. They're not seeing their own soul. They're not acknowledging who they are. So it's easier to put someone down and call someone names and be disgruntled to someone when you yourself are creating that inward reaction towards yourself, you know? But the more we begin to raise the vibrational field of love on our planet, the more we begin to step into what it means to be of grace, the more we begin to step into an awareness where we step into our own solidarity, but also share in that responsibility of lifting that vibrational field, we then get different experiences with people. We start connecting to different people who are at a higher vibration. We start doing things that are with people who are on a higher vibration. We start building a community and where we start seeing ourselves in other people. And that's a really beautiful thing to take in, because that really that's a real like identifier or clarity marker of knowing that you are not alone. Like there's millions and millions and millions and millions of spiritual beings on the planet. And when I say spiritual beings, I mean people who are consciously aware of their behavior towards other people and people's what they're aware of and what they're sending out energetically, right? So if a person is sending out energy that is not coming from a very loving place, then it tells you already where they are in their evolution. And we don't have to fight with them. We don't have to interact with that energy. You know, we can just hold space for them to be able to see, you know, how they can come into a higher field of alignment. But at that point, you can't invite that into your life on an everyday level, because then you're basically giving permission for that energy to exist as a reflection in your own field, right? And so it's important to be very clear about what type of energies you want to participate in while you're on planet Earth, and then make a decision about, you know, really raising your bar, or your level of self-love or enhancement of love, so that you're not attracting those types of frequencies into your life that create any form of disruption, because of the fact that you feel that you feel like you have to go into those energies and save those people. We're not here to save people. We're here to demonstrate for people what love looks like, what kindness is, what generosity is. You know, what does it mean to be a person who's fully in the presence of God and walking in the presence of God, and not just, you know, saying, okay, yeah, I'm a being of God, but then my behaviors and my actions on the outside, it doesn't show the reflection of that truth, right? And that's always a really important thing. You know, a lot of times people will say things about me in the media and, like, you know, in public and so forth, because of the narrative that people want to build around me, so that they can get people to stop listening to me, because then it makes them feel safe that no one's getting this information. But at the same time, that's okay, because that's what they're demonstrating for themselves. But all you have to do is look at my what I'm doing in the world and how I do it with my kids, with my wife, with my family, with my friends, and just spend a little time with any of those energies, watching me demonstrate how I show up for a community. You will know what the truth is, because the truth is always present in the action, not just in the word, right? And we don't want to go into a space where, you know, we go into a holier than thou kind of behavior, where we activate energies that's like, oh, well, this person, you know, looks like they're chanting every day, or doing yoga every day, or, you know, going to church every day, or going to mosque, or going to synagogue, or any of these things. But the way they treat their wives, the way they treat their friends, the way they treat their kids, the way they treat, you know, just a person on the street, it makes a very big difference, you know. Just the other day, I was walking around Norway, and I was with two of my very lovely friends. My friend Trude, which is a very dear friend. Her birthday is actually this Saturday. Oh, she's like Sunday, but we're celebrating it Saturday. And my other friend Ida, and we were walking, and there was this woman, this gypsy woman on the street, you know, and she was asking, you know, for money, and she said, you know, I take VIPs, I can take money, you know, whatever. And I'm not a type of person who likes to give money to homeless people, but what I do instead is I'll take them grocery shopping, or, you know, ask them if there's something that they need, like, is it a jacket? Is there a sweater? Is there something you need? So, you know, I took her into this little kiosk, you know, this store. And I thought it was fascinating, because I took her in there, and you can see the look on people's face, because they're looking at me. They know who I am, right? And they're like, okay, this is a member of you know, our king's family. Why does he what is he doing in this store with this woman, right? And so they get this kind of like, look on their face, like, what is this guy doing? And then every time the woman was near some of the people, they would get so grossed out, and I was thinking to myself, like, isn't it fascinating how someone can be the most religious person, can be the most, say that they're most good, like always doing what they want to do to be these good people. But when it comes into the face of like showing up and like in that moment, instead of someone saying, hey, can you help me? Someone come up to me and say, hey, I know who you are. I see you helping this woman. Can you help me? I can help you find some of the stuff that you need and whatnot, but they weren't. They were looking with disgust, and it was like a ugh. And I can't believe he's in here doing this. Like, what is he doing? And then they're filming me and taking pictures of me. I'm sure they're selling it to the press. But the point I'm making is, it was not about any of that. It was about just making sure this woman, and what she wanted the most more than anything, was diapers for her children, and some chicken and some cheese and shampoo for her hair. And I'm not here to figure out what it's supposed to be for her. That's just my contribution. And I think our planet is so resourceful. There should be no one in the street who's starving. We have so much food. We have so much resources. We have so much this. But the reason why is because people isolate themselves. They isolate themselves into these ideas and concepts of who they think they are and who they think everyone else is. And then they play on these energies of, I have to protect what is mine, and I have to protect myself from these people, which I find very fascinating. Like I was looking at, for instance, like, issues like racial issues that I dealt with since I was a kid, when I used to be called all kinds of names when I was a kid because of being the color that I am, right? And I used to always ask myself as a kid, like, why do people have such an issue with the color of my skin? Like, why can't they see my heart? Why can't they see my soul? Why is it the first thing they look at is the color of my skin? And then they want to know how much money I make. And then they want to listen to the tones of my voice to see if I'm educated. And then they look around to see who's hanging out with me, if they can actually validate me as a person that they would even spend time to talk to. And I used to always ask myself, like, why is that such a big deal? And then it dawned on me because when we get into understanding why people do what they do, we understand that the reason why they do what they do is because they're not capable of going to their soul or to God with their insecurities and with their fears, right? And what is fear and insecurity when unresolved? It's judgment. It's frustration, it's anger, it's all kinds of narratives and ideas and concepts, right? And so what I realized is, wow, so this is how they're perceiving. They're not even having a relationship with God or with spirit, with their soul, to like define these insecurities and these fears, so that they can bring harmony to them, so that they don't have to go into judgment or anger or go and try to hurt someone because they don't understand something. And I was looking at that for like people of color. I was looking at that for myself because of being a bisexual man, or what I call soul sexual. I use the word bisexual just so you can put a understanding of it, but it's mostly soul sexual because I'm a soul sexual man. And I remember one of my friends saying to me a long time ago, they're like, you're never going to meet a woman who's going to be comfortable with you being soul sexual. So you might as well just choose to be gay. And I was like, I'm not quite sure what that means, because I don't believe you, and I don't believe your narrative, nor do I believe what you're saying to me. And then I started realizing that a great deal of how my life was actually operating and moving was based on the things that I agreed with people and didn't agree with people. And so the more I didn't agree with my dad or my stepmom or certain people in my life who said horrible things to me, and the more I agreed with the beautiful things that would be said to me through myself or through spirit or through God, my life started to change, right? And then all of a sudden, I tell my friends all the time, I'm like, it's so funny because me being a soul sexual being has nothing to do with you because you're not. But it seems to me that you're more concerned about what's going to happen in my life, that you have the nerve to tell me that you don't think that I'll meet the amazing woman of my dreams. And that's your belief system. Whereas God is telling me something different. God is telling me that I'm going to meet a woman in my life, and she's going to be amazing, and she's going to be from Norway, and she's going to be like this and like that. And it was all laid out for me when I was young. And so it was really funny because I did meet her, and she's the most amazing woman in the whole world. And I'm sure you probably get sick of me talking about her because how much I love her. I was in the car with her just minutes ago, and I was telling her, God, I can never stop talking about you because how much I love you. And she's like, well, I love you too. And we, but it's like when you are very clear about who you are, right? And my friend Selena's here. She's the one who actually made it possible for us to meet. But when you, and some other people as well too, but when you are very clear about you, and you're not just constantly making decisions based on what other people say, then you actually have what is called sovereignty or solidarity over your path, right? You actually then begin to forge a path that is actually harmonious to you than forging a path based on someone else's opinion, idea, concept, or even narrative that they're building. And that narrative could be brought on by a lot of lack of information, things that they're not very aware of in their own life, things that they haven't even come into acknowledgement within themselves. And so why would I stake all of my belief systems into people who are incapable of seeing the truth that is so evident in God's love? Right? Because when I asked God, I was like, God, am I going to meet the woman of my dreams? God was like, absolutely. And I've had my experience. It doesn't mean I'm not attracted to men. That's not what I'm saying. I am a soul sexual person, but what I needed for me to be in harmony in my life, I knew I could never be in a male-male relationship because I'm a family orientated type guy. I love kids. I love women. I love that type of energy, but it doesn't mean that I'm going to put down the side of myself that has that side that what people call gay or queer or whatever people want to give it a name to. To me, it's soul sexual, but everyone has a weird name for it because they just need to identify it in some way. But what I identify it as is love. And I think, one of the things that I found from God was God said to me, the reason why there are people who are attracted to the same sex is because I wanted my children to have a demonstration that one can love greater than their own avatar, their own body. I was like, what? Like, that's so powerful. That's what my wife said. One time she was in an interview with the press, and they were like, how can you love a man who likes a man? And she's like, it's really funny. She goes, but my capacity for love is greater than your capacity for love because I see beyond the flesh. I don't love based on this. I love based on a deeper soul connection. And what I see in him is everything that I've always can embrace and accept, because I accept love, and that's what we share, and that's what we have. So it wasn't a matter of her needing to be like, well, yeah, because I'm okay with dating that. No, she didn't have to explain that because she was able to be fully aware that her vibrational field of love was at a higher dimensional field that goes way beyond the physical form. Right? And that's what God wanted to show the world, is that love transcends the flesh. It transcends your skin color. It transcends, your name. It transcends how much money you have. It transcends what you've achieved in life. It transcends the pain, the hurt, the sadness, the anger, the woe, the disappointment, the anguish, the everything. It transcends it all. It transcends hate. It transcends disillusionment. It transcends all things, both physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. You see? And so I love this opportunity to be on planet Earth and how to be able to demonstrate that in life through my own being, right? And to also appreciate people on the planet who dare and have the courage to live as they're feeling in their being to live. If they choose to love the same sex, if they choose to wear this versus that, if they choose to paint their hair pink versus or green, or if they choose to whatever they choose, as long as they're not hurting another human being, I don't understand why human beings have to not confront their insecurities and fears and bring it to God instead of choose to put a mask on called judgment and think that that's actually going to solve the problem, because it doesn't solve the problem at all. And I find that very fascinating. Don't you? Any questions, anyone? Choice is very powerful. Absolutely, you're correct. I say yes to this too. Any questions? Also, if you haven't, a lot of people have been writing me on Instagram just to give you guys all understanding of how my Instagram operates. I get DMs from all over the world, a lot of questions. So when you write me, you got to keep it super short. You cannot write me a novel. I don't have time to read a novel. I do a lot of things. I know some people think I just sit around all day and sit on my Instagram, but I don't. I do a lot of things. I have a lot of projects, and I have kids. I have a wife. I have, a life that is not just me answering DMs. So, and the other thing to be concerned, be aware of too, and just to give everyone an awareness, if you write me on Instagram, don't ask for a psychic reading. Don't ask for a shamanic session from Instagram as if I'm going to do that and then respond to you in the comments, because that's not fair to everyone else. Because if I do it for you, then I have to do it for everyone. It's better for you to just book an appointment or come into the healing temple and come up on stage and share with your community, or come into the webinars and share with your community and what we're confronting on, or, you can write me a little short message. You can, if you're on the Lit Vibe meditation app, you can also write your community, and I also go in there and chime in as well. But to assume that my life has this unlimited amount of time, and I can just go into my DMs and be like, yeah, there's like 3 or 4 pages of stories, of life stories coming one after another, and not being able to think that I have the time to read any of that. People send me pictures and all that, and that's great. But when you go into these long stories with pictures and this and that, I don't have the time to look at it. So if you see that I looked and I didn't respond, it's because it's just way too long, and I have to prioritize my energy, my time, my meditation time, my video game time, my time with my kids, my time with my wife, my time with my family, my time with my friends, my time for my ancestors, and my time to be creative, my time to be just completely doing nothing and maybe watch a Netflix show with my wife. I have to prioritize myself so that I am able to show up. And then you also have to consider the fact too, I also have treatments that I go to with my health stuff that everyone knows about. If you don't know, now you know. And so all of that's very important when it comes to and how in which I'm bringing forth, being able to show up for you. So if you don't get a response right away, because sometimes people don't get response, they start yelling at me and getting upset with me as if this entitlement owes you the right to have Shaman Durek be at your beckoning call. And it just doesn't operate like that for me. And as much as I love you and as much as I want to be there for you, I do the best that I can by doing these lives and, doing the healing temple and doing all of these things so that I can show up for community. But I can't be doing shamanic sessions all day long on DMs. It's just not going to be possible. So please, please just think about that. We don't have to be the exact same blood type. That's also, so if you are interested in giving me a kidney, that's very sweet of you. Please send me a DM and I can give you information on how to move in that experience. You don't have to be exactly the same blood type. There are new types of developments that science has come up with. But anyway, the point I'm making is this isn't about woe is me, because you're never going to hear me say like, oh, poor me, because it's not. I'm here to serve and hold space. But at the same time, we're in a community, and this is a give and a take in our community. So just to give you some ideas of what I mean by give and a take. Okay. So I spend a lot of time putting love and energy and putting up really powerful posts. Those who actually get into it get to reap the benefits from it. Like one of the people who are leaders of legacy did the Tasai Shan money thing, and all this money came into their life. There's things I put up there that are really old, ancient knowledge, information that has not been like shared in mainstream society. And I put it up there for a reason. And I put up these videos and so forth for a reason, and these community projects for a reason, so that we can integrate these energies and build together this beautiful, powerful crescendo of light and energy. When you don't take the time to just leave a message, a heart, or, hey, I saw that's what it meant for me, or I'm going to share that with someone who could benefit from that, right? It's nice for you to participate in your community instead of just being a person who just looks at everything I do, because you're not giving back. And I'm not here to, like, a relationship is a give and a take. It's a union, right? It's a beautiful union. And I think that we need to start understanding what that is. As leader of legacy, this is a union. And when we're in union with one another, right, we're here to keep lifting and shifting with one another. It's important for you to show up for that. Now, there's tons of people that you can be connecting with on the thing, but if you're connecting with the things that I'm sharing and you feel benefit from it, and you feel like, wow, this is really great that Shaman Durek put this up for me, or, put this message, or responded to my DMs, when most people in my position do not respond to DMs. I'm sorry, they don't. I have so many friends who are public figures, who do not even answer one DM. I know people in the health and the wellness world. I know people in the spiritual world do not respond to their DMs. They think they're so high up there that they don't have to interact with you and find out if you have kids, and, if you got married or divorced, and where you're living in the world, and, all that. And that's not me. That's not me. I listen. I know people write me and they're like, oh my God. I'm like, are you having your second baby? And they're like, oh, congratulations. Like, I really like to see people and really connect with community. I'm a very community orientated person, just like I'm a family man, right? Like, I love my wife and kids. I'm very family. I'm very orientated. I'm always there for my kids. I'm never, not there for them. Whatever they need, they come first. So I'm the same way with community. So I just want you to also be the same way too. Like, please give back in that space. If you want to benefit from these things, and I think that you are, because I know I get a lot of letters from people who are lives have been changed by the things that I'm sharing, things I write, the things that I put out there. I put it out there so to make our lives easier, and to also move us forward in a very fast and more efficient way than sitting in these dark nights of the souls and my shadow work and all these things that people spend so much time wanting to dig through things, and, oh, I got to heal my inner child. And like, no, you don't. It doesn't operate like that. God never intended for you to spend your whole life working on yourself. It's not about that. It's about being in that space. Yeah, and I offer pro bonos as well, but I don't give pro bonos to everyone. So please understand that as well too. It's based on the situation that's showing up. And most pro bonos go to people who have really serious illnesses or on the verge of, and I can only take one at a time or two at a time. I can't do like, I had a pro bono list and people were signing up on it, and it was like everyone expected me to do like continuous free sessions for like months and months and months, and I couldn't do it. I can't survive off of that. I have to eat. I have a family. I have things that I want to accomplish in this world. You like my book, Uyanesh? Thank you. That's very kind of you to say. Yeah, so, for me, it's about being able to support community. So please, if you do see a post, don't just ignore it. Like, make a comment, say, hey, I saw your post. That really meant a lot to me. Or just put a heart or like something. But it shows me that that this is a reciprocating community, not just me giving and giving and giving and giving and giving and giving and giving to a community that's not responding, because then it's just a waste of my energy, and I can be doing lectures and doing more things and not taking that time to be on social media to support everyone around the world. And it doesn't mean I don't want to, but at the same time, if you're in a relationship and you're constantly giving to that person in a relationship and you're getting nothing back, the energy exchange isn't there. And I'm not even asking for you financially to do anything for me. I'm just simply asking for a simple comment or a response to what I'm doing so I can see what's moving the community. And then I can come up with new ideas of things that we can create to help the community keep going up and up and up and up and up. Yes, yes. So that's wonderful. Do I have any plans to come to Turkey? I do. I do. I go to Turkey quite a bit, actually. So I'm super excited to be here. So let's go ahead and do a couple of healings. And if you guys also know that we have the healing temple this Saturday, so if you do want to talk to me and you do want to come in, it's only $10, and I put it to at that price to make it affordable for people, because not everybody can afford some of my high price ticket things, such as my sessions and stuff like that. But healing temple, $10, and you get to be a part of an amazing community who's thriving and lifting and shifting and raising vibrational fields to an all-time level. So, okay. So let's see first. Let's see. Someone is saying, please me. Let's see. Let's see who JJ Baby. Who's JJ Baby? Go JJ Baby.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm absolutely wonderful. How are you, my love?
I'm amazing. I'm so happy to be here with you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I receive that and take that in my heart. I love that. It's an honor to always be able to be with people who are coming together to create a beautiful connection and union. How can I best support you?
So you have a healing temple coming up. I signed up for nervous system healing. And that's what I wanted healing with, because I have this tendency, I guess it started from young, that I like clench a lot, and specifically clench like my down there area.
Oh, I see. Okay. So you're talking in your pelvic region.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm like, all throughout the day, I have to continuously stop my body from clenching. And I'm like, I'm assuming is my nervous system just, just like from when I was young, I was always surrounded by very, very high energies, very aggressive energies. So I was
Yeah.
just always like,
To look at something really quick first before you tell me anything. If I don't want to be influenced by what you say. Let's take a look here. Um, I'm looking at your system and running a frequency in your system. Let's take a look and see what comes out. Okay, so the first thing that came out was your mother. And the first thing I got was that there is a fear of retribution. That means that like someone is holding this position where you're a kid and you're waiting for them to lose it or to react or to get upset, or someone in your environment that is making you feel that any moment you're under attack. And there's this energy associated to your stomach muscles. It's also connected into your lower pelvic region because it's your way of pulling in. So you're pulling in energy as a way to feel safe. It's kind of like you're clenching to feel safe, and it's creating a disconnection, because what it does is it's a feeling of, it's almost like a feeling of getting caught off guard.
mhm.
Okay. And that has affected you throughout huge periods of your life. And so when I run the frequency through your system, and I'm going to go ahead and do that now, I just want you to tell me what happens to you when I run this frequency. Just tell me what your body feels. And if you don't feel something, tell me that as well.
I don't feel anything.
Okay, good. So that's what I needed to know. Okay, give me 1 second. Uh-huh. Okay. So tell me I'm going to run a different frequency, and tell me when you feel the fear that's coming up of why you don't let yourself.
Oh. That's so weird. It's like my chest just started to like expand almost.
Uh-huh. Give me a
Like
thing.
instead of like when I'm anxious, it's like tight, but this one it was like released kind of.
Yes. Because we're running a frequency of love in your system and we're seeing how you respond to love versus fear.
Okay.
Okay. And when we first sent you love, you like shut yourself off to it. Like you were like, I don't feel anything. I'm not going to feel it. I'm not going to let myself feel it. So then I ran a scan of like, why don't you allow yourself to feel it? And then the response I got back was from the scan in your energetic system was that you don't believe in it. So it was the idea of, I don't believe in it. It's not real. And it's only going to be met with disappointment. So I was like, oh, that's fascinating. So let me run a different scan. So then I ran another scan. And then I saw, oh, I feel like the burdens of the world are on me. Then I saw it in your neck and shoulder. So then I was like, oh, let me run another scan. So then I ran another scan. And what came up was this idea of, I can't trust the people around me to keep me safe. So I have to do it myself. So it goes back into that childhood energy again, right? So it's operating in that field. And then I ran another scan, and the scan came back, which is I'm waiting for someone to judge me incorrectly or see me in a way that they shouldn't, so I can get angry. So you're looking for some form of anger with not being seen clearly. So that was a different scan that I ran. But what came up the most was when I actually told your body that none of these things are true, your chest expanded. So that what I want you to do is that we need to do what is called a reprogramming of your energetic system. So what I want you to do is say, body,
Body,
show me what it would feel like
show me what it would feel like
to not be afraid of people.
to not be afraid of people.
It's okay, baby. I'm right here.
I feel like I'm fighting it. Like
You're fighting it a little bit, but you're also feeling it. That's why your emotions are coming up right now. Now say, body,
body,
show me what it would feel like
show me what it would feel like
to not judge my experience, no matter what it is.
to not judge my experience, no matter what it is. I feel grounded.
Yes. Now say, body,
Body,
show me what it would feel like
show me what it would feel like
to give myself the love that I seek.
to give myself the love that I seek.
You're doing great, my love.
I feel like she's been asking for this for so long, and I didn't know how to do it. I didn't even know what it looked like.
It's okay. I understand. There was a time in my life where I didn't love myself. because I went through so much abuse and so much pain and so much anguish and so much racism and so many things thrown at me. I couldn't understand why life had to be so hard for me just because of the color of my skin. And that in itself made me not love myself. Because I said, the world doesn't even love me because of the color of my skin. How can I love myself? And we deal with that as people of color. We have that inside of us. Even when we deal with people who are white, we're wondering if they're gonna to do hurt us at some point,
All the time.
be nice to us at some point, and then are they going to turn their backs on us the quickest, faster than fast? And we carry that in our culture. We carry this uncertainty of life because of all the pain that we've gone through with racism and things of this nature. And that also played out in certain aspects of your family as well, because they were hurt and angry. And so their hurt and anger got directed towards you, my love.
All the time.
Yeah. I had the same thing in my home too.
But
My
I've watched
and my bonus mom was my aggressor. And they were aggressive all the time.
I've watched a lot of your story, and mine was and different in the way that yours was physical and mine was very
Men-
emotionally damaging.
Mental and emotional. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mine was physical to the point where I was like, had a nanny washing blood off my body as a way to get me ready for school because that's how bad the beatings were and how bad the punishments were. But at the same time, it taught me resilience because I made a pact with God. And you know what pact I made with God? And you're going to love this. So I made a pact with God, with no matter how much pain and suffering I've gone through, how much pain and suffering me and my sister went through, we made a pact with God that we would never stop loving. That no one would be able to take that away from us is our capacity for love. And no matter how many times people hurt me and how many times people think, I would never let them take that out of my being. I would never let them take the love of my heart away from me. That's one thing you cannot have. You could break my body. You could say horrible things to me. I will just have to get those thoughts out of my head. You can say things to me. And so I got to a place where I realized that anyone who doesn't say anything that's not loving to me doesn't come from God. So I really don't care to listen. Right. But it was really the one thing that kept me and helped me through everything in my life, from drug addiction to alcoholism to you name it. And it was my ability to not give up on love. So I'm passing that baton to you,
Thank you.
right? So that you take that baton and you say, yeah, no one can take that from me. And you see how that feels in your body?
Yes.
Yeah. And I trust me, people try. Like I got married into a very interesting family and people tried trying to destroy my character, my name, make lies about me, say all kinds of things. And I hold that torch. God says, as long as you have that torch of love, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine.
I've always tried my best to love. It's the love to myself that I didn't know how to give.
Yeah, but the love of the self is even the most easiest to give because it's the part of us that gets to go, wait a second, they didn't know how to love me. So I'm gonna show the world how to love me. They didn't know how to treat me. So I'm gonna show the world how to treat me by demonstrating it by the way I treat myself. Right? They didn't know how to, I used to always say like my dad would buy me a gift and I'd be like, You don't know how to buy gifts for me. So I'm going to buy gifts for myself and you'll see what I like and then you can learn from me. And that's what I've learned about life is that you can only attract the type of love in your life through friends and through people by how you demonstrate love to them through yourself. Because if you're demonstrating a high vibrational field of love towards yourself, you won't attract someone in who's on high vibration because they won't be able to stay in your field. They'll be like, oh, God, you're so full of yourself. No, it's called I love myself. I love myself more than I need to love you or need your love for me. Right? Then it changes the playing field because now it's not about someone coming in and playing these games of what are you willing to give up in yourself to love me to what are you willing to be honorable to yourself to love me. That's what I love about meeting my wife is that she came to a realization through her own life. She was like, I had to see myself. When she said she had to see herself, that means she had to see herself so clearly that she would not compromise on her love for herself for another man to come in. And I had the same feeling because I went through a lot of tumultuous relationships with people who were trying to control me and manipulate me and, and try to keep me down in the same way that I experienced in my childhood, if it was through money or power or whatever it was they would use. And then I got to this realization, this clear realization of, wait a second, they can't take away from me what I give to myself. I'm not going to ever go in a relationship. I remember one time I was in a relationship, I was meditating, okay? And the person I was with came in and said, are you done with this stupid meditation and this drumming that you have going on here? I'm so sick of listening to it. Can you, like, at least one day, can you at least stop? Do you have to do it every single day? And I was just like, oh my God, what am I doing with this person? They can't even handle my truth of who I am. I'm talking to the trees and they're like, oh my God, do you know the neighbors think you look crazy talking to the trees? I said, I don't care what the neighbors think. They don't live in my world. I speak to the spirits of the trees. You have a problem with that? Why are you with me? And then we had to come to that realization of I'm not meant to be with you because you are trying to get me to take away the love I have for myself in order to get your love. I'm sorry. There is no love greater than the love that I have for myself. And if you think you will ever take that away, ooh, you is wrong as wrong can be. Don't let,
Indeed.
don't let me get the door and don't let the door hit you on the way out. Because trust me, I will be walking you to the door. You will be walked to the door. I will say, here's the door. Now see your way out of it. I don't care. I don't care what you do under the sheets. I don't care what you do with your money. I don't care who you are, how you act. If you expect me to give up my solidarity, my sovereignty for what you got to offer, oh, no, 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 boo boo. You came to the wrong place with that nonsense. You understand what I'm saying, my love?
Yes, absolutely.
There is a divinity that's held within the acknowledgement of the self when the self sees the self that can never be taken by anyone. No one can take it from you. No one can come in and say, well, I have all this money, but you have to stop doing what you're doing and do what I want you to do. No, 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 no. God will test you too. God will bring people in your path and see if you put up with the nonsense, if you put up with the abuse, if you put up with the like make it more about me than make it about you. And trust me, you have to show the universe that you are very clear in who you are so that your partner who comes in and friends that come in match the vibration of your litness.
Yes, I literally recently got tested and I was like, "Oh, okay, I'm leaving. I'm going to another side of the country."
Yeah, that's it. Because the litness that lives in us is so powerful when we don't compromise. But when we compromise, we're basically saying to spirit, I'm willing to sell myself for this. I'm willing to give up my truth for this. And then you become a prostitute, you become a slave, you become a version of yourself that no longer exists because you're only existing for another person because you think that's what you have to be in order to keep them or in order to be loved. No. Spirit has a bigger plan. I had gone through so many different I dated models, I dated women, I dated men, I dated wealthy men who offered me penthouse places in Park Avenue, who were like, I'm buying this for you. And I'm like, okay, well, what comes along with this price tag? Well, I want you to be dressed like this, and I want you to be like this, and I want you to act like this, and I want you to do what I want when I want. When I go to bed, you better be in bed too. And when we go to certain country clubs, I don't want you getting up and talking to all the people and all this kind of stuff. I go, okay, so let me get this straight. You want me to do everything you want me to do, and in exchange, I get my own penthouse apartment in New York City in Park Avenue. Wow. He's like, I'm ready to sign the papers today. I said, here's an idea. How about you not sign the papers and I continue to live in my loft on West 17th Street with my roommates, and you can keep your place. And in fact, you can have yourself be alone because I'm not willing to sell my soul, my love of self, my truth, my sovereignty for your dollar bills. Okay? Dollar bill. You understand? I've dated women. Okay. I've dated models. I would sit at restaurants with my girlfriend, and she would be sitting there. As soon as people would walk by the restaurant, she would run out the restaurant and be like, hey, how's it going? Such and such. I said, oh, no, 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 no. You do not want to spend time with me, but you want to run outside the restaurant. We're sitting here having a romantic dinner, and you're leaving the table to go talk to your friends. So you're a people pleaser. You want everybody to see you. You need attention. You need attention. I can't be with someone like that. I need someone who can hold their own. And so I had to go through a lot of relationships. My friend Jilly Willie's here. She's seen me go through all those relationships. And let me tell you something. In those relationships, the tumultuous ones, the controlling ones, the ones that were just like out of ridiculous beyond belief, one thing I learned about myself through God was God says, the day that you see yourself where you don't compromise, where you stay true to your values, you stay true to who you are. You don't stop being spiritual because someone gets annoyed with listening to you meditate or chant or whatever it is that you choose to do. That's when I'm going to bring to you your ultimate love. That's when you're going to meet the person that you have are meant to be with in this life that is operating in that vibrational field. And that's when my wife walked in. And it was so beautiful because I get to be in a relationship with someone where we're not playing power games. We're not playing like you have to be this or I won't love you. We don't play games like that. I can pray in the morning and she comes in and goes, let me pray with you. I could say, let's meditate today in the park. And she's like, let me come with you. Let's get a blanket and go meditate. I could say, honey, let's go to play video games. She's okay, which game we're going to play? I could say, she could be like, it's across the board. We talk about everything and everything under the sun. I could be like, oh, girlfriend, did you see that boy with them pants on? I'm loving them bell bottoms. She's like, baby, I know you look good in them bell bottoms. Like I can go to, she could be like, let's go to a gay club and we be dancing in the gay club together. There. Because we have that kind of that, the only games you play, Durek, is video games. Exactly. That's my friend Jilly Willie. She's one of my dearest longtime friends. So, and trust me, Jilly will tell you, like I used to be hardcore. I was a hardcore vegan for 20 years. You put a hamburger in front of me, and I felt like you were destroying the world. I'd come up with pictures. I'd be making sounds, moo, doing all kinds of crazy things. And one time my friend Jilly Willie went to a hamburger shop and I was a hardcore vegan. I went inside, I said, death up there, moo, death, death, death. She said, how dare you walk into my hamburger joint? I just needed a hamburger. You walked in and made all that noise. But when you grow and evolve, you start to let people be who they are. You stop judging people. You stop going in and trying to change people. You let people be who they are. You love them for where they're at. You don't go into spaces trying to change people and stuff your beliefs down people's mouths, right? And so you're at this point right now in your life, Spirit is asking you to fully step into you with love. Love yourself in every way no one has ever loved you.
Mm-hmm.
Are you willing to commit to that?
Yes, 100, 1,000,000, infinite%.
Well, then I'm happy for you. I'm more than happy for you. I'm elated. I'm celebrating you. I love you so much. And I'm
Oh,
so excited for you.
thank you. I'm glad for me too.
Yeah.
It's about damn time.
Yeah. That's what it's about. Wait. It's about damn time. Oh, my darling, I'm here for you. You can always send me a DM. Just keep the messages short, but I love you. And I'm so happy that you came on today.
Me too. Thank you. I love you too.
And I love you. And your whole energy's completely shifted. I
Thank
love it. It's beautiful.
you. I feel it.
Bye, my darling.
Bye. Thank you.
You just got to push that little Xy. So, as you know, right? Does that make sense to everyone? It's like, right? Someone said, please pick me. Please pick me. Okay, let's go. Quantum. What is this? Quantum shifting? What is that?
Hello.
Hello.
I'm sorry. How are you, Shaman Durek?
Fine. Lovely. Turkish, merhaba.
Merhaba. Kolay gelsin.
Kolay gelsin. I love that. That's my favorite. Çok iyiyim. Çok
To
güzel.
see you. From last year till now, I've been waiting for yours to pick me. And I'm Turkish, by the way, so my English is a little bit bad.
Tamam, tamam.
Tamam. Oh my god, my friend is here too, Berkay.
So how can I support?
Shaman Durek, to be honest, I don't know which part I am at right now, but my spirituality is going so weird and is making me scared also.
What
Um,
is going weird?
Couple days ago, mostly my dreams are very vivid, and couple days ago somebody came to my dream and I had a superpowers, and this person took my superpowers from me. And then I saw one statue with three women. Around there was like snakes wrapped around it. And then after that, I went to touch the statue. After I went back in time. And the time was at the same time and was past and future. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do with my life. I am mostly
Okay.
into spirituality.
Let me just tell you what your dream meant, okay? So if you're in a dream and you have powers, okay, and someone comes and takes your power, what it means is that you have powers, but you're letting other people's energy and behavior take away the things that make you happy.
Mm-hmm.
So what does that mean? That means that you are willing to not be your true self because of other people's judgments.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
You said afterwards you went to a tree and you saw snakes. Okay. So the tree in the dream and the snakes with the statue represents you coming into an alignment of being fully in your grounded state in your power. But the snakes also represents transformation. It represents sexuality. And so there's a part of you that's very sensual and sexual that wants to be able to feel comfortable being who you are. But there's also a tree. So it means that by being in,
Actually, it was like three women, like
yeah, yeah,
young
like
and old woman and very old woman. They are all together and they
yeah.
wrap
So
with
called
the
the
connection.
goddesses. Okay. So it's the maiden, the mother, and the crone. And what it represents is the stages of your maturity into who you are as a powerful woman.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's take a look and see something really quick. Spirits, what is the real issue that's happening with our beloved here? Why has there been difficulty? Why is she making it difficult? What is the whole thing? Just give it to me. What is it? Uh-huh. Okay. So Spirit says that you get these really great ideas and then you talk yourself out of them.
I'm talking these things to people, you mean?
No, you get a good idea
Mm-hmm.
and then you go into your mind and then you
Mm-hmm.
start looking at the negativities of these ideas.
Yeah.
Spirit says that your path is based on what brings you joy, and you're choosing to let other people's opinions make you confused about what makes you happy. Spirit also says that you have to take a very strong line with your family, okay? Because you get very concerned of disappointing your family, that it takes a great deal away from you and honoring your truth.
Hmm.
So that means what? That means doesn't mean stay away from your family. It means don't do things to be and hide things about who you are. Be true about who you are, even if your family doesn't understand it. You're here to shift the bloodline. You understand? Now,
Yes.
they also told me that you already knew this and that this has been a continuous message, right? That you have been going through. You have so much power in your being. And sometimes you know what's going on with people like this. And you also know what people are going to say sometimes. So sometimes you're like waiting, but you already know what they're going to say. And then you're like, okay, fine. And sometimes you play along, sometimes you don't. But you also have a very strong mind when it comes to design, when it comes to creativity, when it comes to beauty. You need to look at those things.
Oh my god. That's so true. Oh.
Okay. The other thing is they said you need to be able to, you need to move around, you need to travel, you need to see things, they said, because you get very depressed when you stay in a place for far too long. You need new energy. So maybe you move the furniture a different way. Maybe you put a new picture up on the wall. You cannot stay in the same environment the exact same way because it irritates you. It starts making you go into like, the same walls, the same pictures, the same door, the same furniture. Nothing's changing, nothing's moving.
Oh my god. All of them are so true. Can I ask something? Like,
Yeah.
is there
Or
anything that I don't know or I did not realize yet what to do about my mission? Because I really
that
feel so spiritual.
Get rid of mission. You have no mission. There is no mission in any human being on this planet. When you create a mission, you create expectations. When you create expectations, you create slavery. That's exactly what the Matrix wants you to do. There is no mission. There is you coming to earth and deciding what makes you happy and doing it and demonstrating what joy looks like, what happiness looks like, what love looks like, what freedom looks like in your embodiment. When that
Yeah.
will be the mission that people are speaking of will become your mission just by you showing up and being aware, just being here. Your presence alone will be your mission, not something that you do. What you do is find the things that make you happy, the things that bring you joy. Get rid of the mission because every time you do this mission, you drag your feet. You're like, I have to do this mission. What am I here for? What's my purpose? I hear people say that all the time. Your purpose is to be happy. Your purpose is to find joy. Your purpose is to be a kid on planet Earth, building your heaven on Earth. You're not here to save this planet. You're not Superwoman. You're not Superman. You don't have this mission where you have to save the world. No, your beingness is already saving the world when you do what you love. You understand?
Yes, I understand.
Anladım.
Anladım, çok iyi anladım. Teşekkür ederim. Shaman Durek, do you think, do I have any problem in my energy area or in my nervous system?
The
Is
only
there
thing
that
is your back. I see like your back, and I see that you need to stretch your joints out more because you get inflammation in your joints.
Yes. I have hypermobility, and it's true.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you that's not true. I'm a shaman, for God's sakes. But it's so funny sometimes people are like, "Oh my God, how did you know that?" You know, it's cute, but we live in a world where I understand that there's people out there who just bullshit people, but that's not my role. My role is to love you, and when you love someone, you tell them the truth. So I need you to
Yeah.
stretch more. I need you to do things where you're in the water. I need you to do things where you're being more flexible with your body. Okay?
Okay.
All
Okay.
right.
Thank you so much. I love you. Sending love from
Ben,
Turkey.
benim çok seviyorum. Çok çok öptüm canım.
Ben de seni çok çok öptüm. Bye bye. When I'm gonna go out.
Someone said I did ayahuasca a couple days ago and I saw a peacock. What does it mean? A peacock is several things. It means protection. It represents abundance, prosperity. It means putting something into motion and keeping it in motion through pleasure, through excitement, through, you know, businesses succeed when your spirit is involved. That means that your spirit is excited, you're feeling pleasurable about it, you're happy about it. But when you go into a business and you go into, am I going to be successful? Is it going to work out for me? Am I going to do really well? You've already messed up your business because you're already going into the possibility of it not, and therefore that energy can go in that direction. So anything you want, so a peacock is representation of protecting the things that you love. Protecting things that you love means putting passion behind it, right? It's about being able to step into a space where you are acknowledging that you deserve to have prosperity and wealth, and that to get to that prosperity and wealth, it requires you to do the things that are passionate and then protect your passion. Okay? That's what it means. All right? Okay. So as I told you guys before, I only do two healings because again, that's because I see people all day and I'm you know doing so many things. That's the only energy that I can do. But I want you to know I'll be back on again. If you want to come up on stage, you can at the Healing Temple, which is on Saturday. I love you so much. I know how powerful each and every one of you are and what a gift you add to this world. And I'm so happy that I'm able to hold space for you in the best way that I can and with no hierarchy, just pure love. And that we get to spend this time and this energy together and continue to prosper joyously on this planet. I look forward to seeing you all again. And in due time, I'm sure if you didn't get called up this time, you will at some point. Trust me, there's people who've been waiting for long times and they don't get chosen and spirit chooses. And I don't know where my finger is going to push. I kind of just go into it and it just happens. So if you didn't get called this time, doesn't mean you won't get called next time or even in the healing temple and so forth. So, Alafia, Ashe, Amala Ashe, I love you so much. Awoman, yes, Aloha, Nuiloa. I love you all so much. And I will speak to you soon, my darlings. Remember, please leave a comment when this gets posted up on the page. Please remember, like I said, this is a give and take relationship. It helps me to know that you appreciate this relationship that I'm building with you in the community. And please leave a comment if you enjoyed this live when I post it up on my main page. I look forward to spending more beautiful time with each and every one of you. It's always a joy to talk to you and to share in loving spirit and kind and loving devotion. And so until next time, I will see you soon. Thank you, darlings. Love you. Aw, thank you. Tschüss. You too. Aw. Bis bald.